So, Sonic Mania Plus, it came out about a month ago. And rather than pushing a review out straight away, I let it slide. This wasn't a conscious decision, it just happened. And so I thought, well, that's gone now, it's too late. But then I also thought, for Christ's sake, man, you spend most of your life reviewing software from 30 odd years ago. What the hell is a month in the grand scheme of things? Seems like I made a valid point to myself there, so let's take a look at Sonic Mania Plus Edition. Now, Sonic Mania was a fantastic game itself, especially when running through a nice CRT like this one. But I presume this new outing, or upgrade, or DLC, is like the Master System Plus in that it contains all the action of the original game, but with a freaking laser gun, and Operation Wolf thrown in for good measure. No mention of Operation Wolf here. Maybe it's more like an Amiga 500 Plus, and just has some more RAM and enhanced chipset. Well, let's find out. To start with, the packaging is different. We haven't got that huge monstrosity of a statue, for one thing, but the less we talk about that, the better. Collector's editions aside, Sonic Mania Plus has a shiny holographic case, which puts a smile on my face every single time, just like when you collected stickers and got the shinies. I've got the Xbox One and Switch versions here, mainly because Sega sent me the Xbox One version in error. What I really wanted was the Switch version, as I reckon this will make a tremendous handheld game. The packages appear the same size, but the Switch version is padded out with extra cardboard, making it possible to fit this art book inside. Oh, look at the art. Oh yes, prototype art. Oh yes, very nice. The game box itself also has a secret in the shape of a reversible cover, which turns this Nintendo game box into a Sega Mega Drive box. It's a day I thought I would never see, but it is a nice touch, even though the cartridge is still way smaller than a Mega Drive card. In any case, you can download the Plus Edition as DLC for the original under the title of Encore DLC, so all this plastic is really unnecessary if you have Sonic Mania. So, let us play. On first look, all seems very familiar to the non-Plus outing, with the addition of a kidnapping Robotnik passing by. But then, a new menu, and indeed new menu options. Delightful. Let's see where they lead. Now, at this point, I would like to stress that I have a monumentally low span of attention when it comes to games produced in the last couple of decades, even if they are incredibly good. It's like by 1998 my brain was so filled to the brim with gaming sensations that it added a limiter, and anything that exceeds my patience just makes me sick. So although Sonic Mania was a great game, my excitement just isn't going to be in the same place for this upgrade. I'm going to have to concentrate hard on these differences to get through. So we have the original Mania mode, all good and present, but that is so 2017. Encore Mode is where the main bulk of this release hides, although why the DLC is called Encore, yet the whole package is called Plus, slightly mystifies me. Lurking within here, the first thing you'll notice is palette changes. For the most part, these are the same levels as Mania, but with different colours. But we also do get some new routes, and that's mainly because we have new characters to utilise them. We unlock these characters at the end of the first act, and their names are Mighty and Ray. Mighty seems like a laudable fellow. Not only is he immune to spikes in ball form, but also has a hammer drop ability, which can be used where appropriate and indeed where not. Ray, on the other hand, has a gliding ability, just like Mario with a cape, although a little less useful in the Sonic landscape. Ray is more of a character for the adept Sonic aficionado. Younger, or maybe inexperienced players may find him or her a sack of arse to begin with, but the ability is a grower, and offers a change of pace, if nothing else. Combined with Sonic, Tails and Knuckles, these two new guys in the fold allow for the real heart of Encore Mode: switchable characters. You amble through with two, as you would with Sonic and Tails, but can swap between them at a press of a button. You will also get the opportunity to switch which characters you're currently using through special item boxes, or death. Unlike the traditional life formula, your lives in Encore are literally the characters you have. When one dies, another will join you from your roster, until all are depleted, in which case you have to restart the zone. It's quite nice, it works well, and it's certainly a creative and lateral game mechanic. In addition, we also get some new cutscenes and takes on the bosses, which I won't spoil for you here. Suffice to say, you may like them and you may not. It's the same as anything really. This outlook also applies to the new bonus stages, which require 50 rings to access rather than the previous 25, and throw you straight into a pinball game. The aim here is to get your ball up to successively higher areas. You can also get characters and the like back through this crane minigame, and it works well enough, but it is pretty hard, and I would have preferred a more literal take on Sonic's spinball than the quirkiness on show here. The physics of the table also seem to hail from another universe. Maybe gravitational forces work differently there. For me, nothing beats this bonus stage. And that pretty much wraps up Encore Mode. In these other modes we get to choose from the new characters, but we can also play with up to 4 players in competition. This is nice, it's fun, I like it. And that really is pretty much it. I didn't spend very long playing it, mainly as you know it's a game where the quality will be consistent throughout. Sonic Mania exudes the markings of a good game from start to finish, and if you've got the time and inclination to play it again, albeit slightly differently, then go for your life. Sonic Mania Plus does have a number of compelling additions and changes, and indeed some levels are more than just alternative routes. Admittedly, they're not the same as these fan-instilled changes for the Game Boy Beyond, hailing from a Sonic Mania Reddit post created even before we had a whiff of this new expansion. But whether that's for the better or worse is somewhat subjective. And what even is the Game Boy Beyond? Anyway, is it enough to buy the entire new game? Well, if you're a big fan of Sonic Mania, sure, you'll get to play through the game again with a new look, features, characters, and routes. But even more likeable is the Encore DLC, because for just a few quid, you get exactly the same additions. You can't really go wrong. Thanks for joining me on this quick look at Sonic Mania Plus. There's some more buttons you can click here. Feel free to click some. And in any case, I hope you have a great evening.